Welcome to the One-to-One Show. In today's show, we're going to be talking to the founders of Agora Models, Liam and James. We're also going to be taking some of their models and putting them under the spotlight. Rather scary spotlight this week. We're also going to be answering your questions. So sit back, relax, start the show. So, being the very first pilot show of the One-to-One Show, I thought it'd be important to actually get the founders of Agora Models in. So here, I've got James Franks.
Hello.
And Liam White.
Nice to meet you.
So, now I've got loads of questions for you, not just about Agora Models, but building models in general. So, where did it first start with you, James?
Oh, I suppose for me, it's going right back many, many years when I was a child, making little plastic kits. I think probably the very first one, like most people, would have been a Spitfire plane.
Which mark?
Oh, don't. And it was always, I really enjoyed building them. And the problem was I just got glue everywhere. And then I just painted them, I guess like as a 7 or 8 year old child, paint them how I wanted them to look rather than how they should look. And, looking back, they look terrible. But the enjoyment was there of just putting it together. And so fast forward on, kind of to today, it's kind of, well, how can I replicate that, but not have the problem with the painting and gluing?
Right. So what about you, Liam? Did you have the same journey? Or?
No, not really. I didn't really build many scale models when I was younger, but I played a lot of Matchbox cars. So I collected those. My mother would buy all sorts of different ones, and I would push them around the house and create my own tracks, and just by myself, or even sometimes with my cousin, we would just play races. And the Matchbox cars had all sorts of different cars. It wasn't like just Formula One or racing cars, it was road cars. So I knew a lot of the road cars from being a child, and then now fast forward to here, we've done actually some of them as 1/8 scale models, which is amazing. So that's kind of where it started for me.
So in 2019, obviously Agora Models was created. Was this your first introduction to large scale models then, or?
No, I knew of large-scale models, but we felt we could just do something better and something really amazing for the community. And the Shelby Super Snake was one of one.
Right.
So, and it was our first model.
Did you always have that as your first model? Did you have a choice of models that you could have done first, or?
Well, I think we've always had a big board on the wall of all the things we'd love to do.
Right.
And the Super Snake, we had the opportunity to go and actually see it.
Yes.
And photograph it at Shelby in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And kind of open the hood, get really into it. And, this is a multi-million dollar car. So to actually get there, touch and feel it, and hear about the story behind it, how Carroll Shelby took out the engine from the standard car and bunged in a GT40 engine just so it could test some Goodyear tyres. It has a really great story behind it, and the car looks beautiful. We actually see it.
It's a great first model, that's for sure.
Yeah. It's one everyone knows.
Yeah, I think that's the point. We also felt that it would be really international.
Yeah.
The Shelby brand, it is truly international. We wanted to go for something international, and we also wanted to go something that we could follow up with, which was obviously the Shelby Cobra, just less than 6 months later.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the thinking behind it.
Wow. So now that came out December 2019, if I'm right.
That's correct.
So the planning for that must have happened 2018.
No, not that far back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a bit sooner, but we moved fast. And we still move fast.
Okay.
And that's been our motto.
Now, unlike a lot of businesses, you had a challenge with the release because 4 months after release, the pandemic hit. What challenges did that give you?
Well, many challenges. But we were in a situation where we were able to deliver a product that brings lots of joy, happiness, like the element of craft, and things that you could do that you couldn't do during that time.
One thing that was interesting is that the product was already on the way.
That's right.
To our depots, So we couldn't stop. It was in production. It was on the way. So we just had to go. So regardless of the pandemic, we couldn't stop. And I think a lot of people have said, oh, maybe the pandemic helped you because everyone was staying at home and this is the kind of thing they could build. But we'll never know because we haven't a history before then. So we don't know how many we were selling before and then pandemic happened. So it could done good for us, it could done bad. We will never know.
So in that year just after, so 2020, you obviously had the Super Snake. You mentioned the Cobra as well.
Yeah.
And that's 2 builds in short space of time.
Yes.
Now, fast forward to today, we're 30 builds plus.
Yeah.
And we're looking at things like the Orca came out this year. We've got the Jurassic Park Ford Explorer later on in the year. Did you ever expect that many models?
No.
I'm surprised it's 30 now when you say it.
Yeah, you see,
I'm trying to think. Hang on, is it really?
I've actually counted them. He's absolutely correct. No, I think it's, as I mentioned earlier, we're fast. We saw something was working and something that the community and customers were really responding well to. So we were encouraged to just do more and more. And we had opportunities to do so, you know, and we moved into different segments, you know, the military segment. Obviously we had the T800, which is quite different, into the sort of the movie world. Cars, we knew we could do them. We could replicate what we did with Shelby, and we listened to the community and to hear what models they were after, what they were interested in.
And you said that's quite important to you, listening to the community, because you do have a vast range of models. It's not just 1.8 cars. We've got ships, we've got military, we've got a whole wide net, if you like.
Yeah, we do. We really do listen to the community. We don't do surveys, you know, because it's just it's not detailed enough. We prefer to go really in the weeds and actually hear what people really, really want and really, really passionate about. Yeah. You know, we fast forward a little bit, as you mentioned, to now. So the Orca, we knew that people wanted the Orca for a long time.
I wanted it. Big time.
They did want it. And
I dropped enough hints.
Yeah, and there was times where I had to sort of, you know, try and be stoic and change the subject because I didn't want to say something until we had the deal done. But going after the big licenses like that with Universal products and experiences was, you know, incredible to be able to get to that stage where it was plausible and to bring it to market. And then since bringing it to market, it's just been really stunning. I mean, the amount of personal builds that people are doing on the forum, on social media, obviously encouraged by your own one with the weathering and so on. It's been really amazing. So. Yeah.
I mean, Airwolf's another one where every time we go to a show, like in the States or in the UK, people come up to us and go, can you do Airwolf? When are you going to do Airwolf? And we get a lot of people write in and say, here's some ideas, what it is. Airwolf was always top. And, you know, it's one of our favourites from the TV show.
Well, for me, the one that blew me away, and I'm sure it's probably one of the evolutions of the business, was James Bond cars. Obviously, when that was announced Christmas Eve, it was an early Christmas present. It was amazing. But how did that come about?
Well, that's one we've always wanted to do, and just big James Bond fans. And it's such an obvious thing to do, to have a Bond car at 1 to 8. You can have all the gadgets, they can all work, the ejector seat can fly out, the guns can come out, they can fire. So you can do all that. And so basically we went to Eon and just said exactly that. We want to do a car, everything's going to work, the gadget's going to fire. Yeah. And to their credit, he said, great, brilliant, let's do it.
I remember thinking, can we actually deliver this?
Wow. Well, that's a lot of responsibility then, isn't it?
Yeah, because the gadgets that's the difference. We knew we could do an Aston Martin DB5, but to have the machine guns and the different bits and elements we had, the ejector seat, that was a challenge. Yeah. But we were able to do it, and we're so
it's something I've noticed. Well, obviously, with 30 models now that you've got, the evolution of the Super Snake to it seems to be you're getting a lot more technical. I'm guessing you're learning a lot as you're going along, making more models.
I think we get braver, don't we?
Yeah, I think we kind of. I mean, we obviously work with a lot of people to bring these to life, and I remember with the Bond car, there was a good lesson there. It was the No Time to Die DB5, and it's got the Gatling guns that come out the front and spin. And we saw the movie car and got that working with the guns to come out and fire. So the real thing. We had one of our designers with us and said, "You'll never do that 1:8." I said, "We've got to. It looks so cool. It's so great." And I think the kind of learning there is, we just keep pushing people to, when they say you can't really do that, you probably can. There's a way to do it. There's a way to find out. So that's something we've certainly learned.
Yeah.
Wow. And obviously we're based in Canterbury here, but Agora Models is now global. You've got offices everywhere. Where are you offices at the moment?
We're in Raleigh, North Carolina. We're in Tokyo, Japan.
Wow.
Melbourne, Australia. And we are also in Austria for the EU. And there is only one of James and I, so we can't be everywhere.
Yeah, we spend a lot of time in North Carolina.
I was going to say, you must travel a lot then with that many.
Yes, and it's fabulous. It's one of the perks of the job to see the different teams and the different licensors, and it's made us. Look, we need to be in these different locations because we ship obviously from the local location, which is much better for the end consumer, which is kind of pushed us going into that direction. But actually, it enabled us to be a much better business and to deliver a better product and in a timely manner, and the local. The local audience is really happy with it.
Excellent.
I think being in North Carolina kind of with our lot, that allows us to kind of go to a lot of places and events in the States and talk to people out there. So we get a lot of opinions from around the world. And it's why we launch things like the Shelbys, the Corvettes, which obviously are very strong US vehicles. But that's what, when we talk to people, that's what they want.
So is it logistical reasons where you've based those places, or is it more to do with that's where the highest concentration of?
A bit of both, really,
both, yeah.
because we have warehousing in Florida for the US, and that looks after all of North America for us, and then an office in Raleigh. But then we have in centre of Europe for the EU, have warehousing there. So very much operational reasons.
You don't really realise. You look at the top line, you see a model and it's created, but then you start scratching the surface and you think about the logisticking, the marketing, and it's like, wow, it's bigger than you think it is.
Yeah, and one of the things that we really try to do is to launch globally concurrently.
Yeah.
So every individual, all over the world, they can start the subscription at the same time as somebody else in any part of the world. So we always try to get global licenses, so we can ship the goods, the pack one, let's say the Orca most recently, to everybody at the same time.
Yeah.
So all the pre-order customers can receive the first pack one at the same time, and they're on their journey. And then there'll be some people who might just wait for the full kit, but they'll be watching all the great build videos and so on until it's complete. But that's a key part for us, is to not restrict by language or by territory.
And am I right in saying that you've got this whole thing with 12 packs? I think it's great because people want to know how long it's going to go on for and all that. It's just 12 packs.
Yes.
Yeah.
There might be a bonus one, but...
But I mean, we decided from the outset to make everything as simple as we can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So whatever the model, they're all 12 packs. With the exception of the limited edition kind of stuff, they're all the same price.
Yeah.
So you kind of, your choice is what do I build, not what can I afford or what's going to take longer to arrive. I think it's structurally everything's the same for everybody.
Yeah.
It's just, okay, well, which model do I want to do?
And we also don't remove models as such. Of course, some of them are sunset just purely because of the life of them, but very few. We have customers who are starting models that we put out into the market, like the Shelby.
People are still asking about the Cobra and stuff.
Exactly, exactly. So it's really about the community and the hobby rather than the particular model. There are some people out there just go for one model and that's what they want. Yeah. But we try to bring them into to the whole segment, and which leads us on obviously to the Advantage Club, which we can maybe talk about. Yeah. Should I talk about it?
Yeah, that definitely, because the Advantage Club, I mean, is rewarding customers for actually buying before and, tell everyone about it.
Well, that's it. It's because we see that lots of customers buy more than one model. Yeah. And for reasons we say, it's actually about the art of modelling and the community that we have and the way that we make things so transferable. The pricing's the same for each model. it's 12 packs. It's the familiarity. So to reward the customer for purchasing more than one model, we felt we give them, firstly, there is the introductory price of pack one.
Yeah.
And actually they get that free when they start their second model. And then further, they built more and more models, they get more points, which turn into cash, and they can get maybe an accelerator. First 4 packs for free or by using their points. So we reward loyalty, but it's more about, you know, our way of saying thank you in some ways, and to keep them with us, because we built the equity with the customer and how we do things, that it should be transferable product by product, and we keep that consistency. It's the same teams, and we deliver the product in the same way, and actually the Advantage Club has been really fantastic for us, and for the customer. We get so many customers say, you know, in our Trustpilot, in our reviews and so on, how great the club is, and you know, we're very happy with that.
Well, I think I've built every single one of the Agora models.
Have you got a lot of points?
I have. Have you built your own models here, every single one, or?
I have made some of them 3 times or 4
Oh my God.
times.
Wow.
Basically, the pre-production one comes in and I build it to try and iron out any last-minute problems.
Right.
I say, oh, this bit doesn't quite fit in this, change the mould. So I do all of them.
I get them here.
Then we build them for shows. We build them, so sometimes for the licensors, we have to send them. And we've started off sending them the packs, and they said, no, can you just send us it ready built? So that means you want to build them. So yeah, I think I built all of them times 2 or 3 on some of them. And the wheels on the Jaguar and the Aston Martin. I've made about 100, I think.
Well, you know what? I rank models now by spokes, because you get the DB5s, no problems, the Sterling, no problems. The Ferrari 250, you've got challenges now. You've got levels of it. But I'll tell you what, it's so rewarding doing it, though. And you find it's quite therapeutic at the end of the day. It's amazing. You learn things about model building you never thought you could do, and it's great. I'm learning new things from that as well. But with Agora Models now, there's an evolution going on now, isn't there? What's the next thing?
Well, I think as Liam was saying, it's kind of, you know, we're in this for the long haul, and we love models and building stuff. So we're kind of expanding the content side more. What can we do? So our YouTube channel, like many people, was just a showcase of our models, and here they are spinning around. Here's some detail. So kind of the shop window. So we'll keep that to some extent, but we're trying to evolve that into something we've called Agora Models Plus. So that's going to be the new name for our YouTube channel. And we want to create some non-model content, if you like. So initially we're starting off with 2 shows. The very own one-to-one show.
That's where I come in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for coming in and hosting it for us. And the idea is just to chat to people, not so much about models and modelling, but about the areas of interest that modelers are interested in. So it's things like movies, it's behind the scenes stuff. You know, maybe we get some props guys who made some of the props for the real movies. And so kind of these kind of general subjects are just interesting to talk about.
Well, to do that, we need a studio, and that's why we're sitting in a studio here, and there is some more work that needs to be done on this, but believe me, well, we had fun preparing this. I mean, check this out. How to build a studio in 110 easy steps. Okay, so this is the area that we've got to work with. This is quite a comfy studio space. I think that will work a treat.
So we've got this set up, we've got preliminary chairs.
Getting it all set up.
You know, you're going to love this picture. Look, I'm wearing like a flying jacket here. It was -5 up here because there wasn't heating at the time this picture was taken. And you see, we're using garden chairs and a pallet. Obviously, we're upgrading from there. As a matter of fact, the chairs that we're on at the moment aren't the chairs we're going to be using. You've got something really special coming in.
Well, yeah, we had great fun finding these. We've ordered 2 seats from a Ferrari. And I haven't worked out, I've got to work out which particular model Ferrari it is. So I'll find that out. So we're going to have 2, I think they're blue Ferrari chairs. And you're getting a Maserati chair.
Wow. Oh, wow. I'm privileged. I won't want to go home. This will be my new place to live.
So, and then I think we're going to do something on the back wall.
Okay. That's going to be cool as well. So what else is involved in the Agora Models Plus?
So we've also, the other thing we're going to launch straight away is what we're calling the Roadshow, the Agora Roadshow. So whereas the one-to-one show's kind of in the studio and just chatting and talking about things, the Roadshow will be various people. I think you're doing a few for us as well.
Yeah.
Liam's off some, I'll be doing some. But we're going out and about. So I think the first one is going to be at the Corvette Museum. I think you've been up to Cutty Sark.
Yep.
And we're going to do some behind the scenes of some of the car places that we go to. And they'll be essentially videos going out and just exploring places.
I can't wait. We've got a big one lined up, but we'll share that at the end, I think. But the other thing that you'll notice is that we do have some bare walls here that I want to fill with something. I do have an idea for that. And I've got a new feature that I want to try on you. It's called In the Spotlight. Okay, I hinted to this right at the very top of this episode that I've got 4 models to show you, or kind of models. They're model related, but they're going to be going on the spotlight. They've got a scary content to it as well, so I need to warn you. Okay, anyone with a nervous disposition, you've got to be checking this out. Now, the deal is that out of these 4 things, only one of them is going to go in a frame, which I have got already here, and it's going to be going up on the wall. Okay. But we need to debate which one is the best, because the other 3, even though they might be equally up to the standard, are going to be put to one side.
Okay.
So they're going to get trashed.
Not trashed. You can't say trashed. I'm talking about models. But we'll see. We'll see.
Right,
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I mean. Okay. Now, I don't know if you realise this, but 4 of Agora models are actually got scary connotations to them. Okay. The first one is the orca. Has got the great white shark.
Yes.
Okay. The second one is the xenomorph from Alien. The third one is the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. Obviously, we've got the Ford Explorer.
We've got a mega fan here.
And the last one is the T-800 from the Terminator. So I want to know what one's the scariest and why you think it is.
The scariest?
Yeah.
Right. So, do them again. We've got the T-800.
So if I put my 2 pence in, now, xenomorphs are scary, okay? They've got acid blood, okay? But they only exist in the fictional world of Geiger, and they're not on my planet. It's not really something to worry about.
Oh, they could get to this planet, though.
Well, true. Now, this beast here is actually fueling my car at the moment, so I don't have to worry too much about that. Or, you know, if I go to the Science Museum, I guess. And the T800, I mean, it's basically a battery source and a power bank, you know, it's like an off button. So to me, the one that's actually more scary to me is the great white, because there's more chance of that killing me today. That's why I think that's the scariest.
I think the one that scared me the most, as opposed to scary now, I'd agree with the shark. Because watching the movie as a child and then being really scared of going in the water.
Well, I wouldn't even go to the toilet. It's seriously.
Because the water in the toilet?
Yeah, because the water. I thought sharks are just naturally attracted to water.
So it would come out
blood,
as right, okay.
Yeah. Plus,
I don't want to picture
my
that.
parents put the fear of God into this.
So that like really scary.
How old was you when Jaws came out? It came out in 75, so...
I was under the age you're probably allowed to go and see it.
Yeah, I was only like 4.
Yeah.
I wasn't yet born.
Oh, yeah. So when was the first time you saw this?
Oh, I remember seeing it in primary school around somebody's house, and we just watched it like quite a lot.
So that must have terrified you as well.
What terrified me was that you didn't see it, and it was the anticipation of when you were going to see it, and knowing that it was in the movie, because of course it didn't work out.
You had that with this as well. I mean, you know, you got opening eggs and you didn't know what was in it. So...
Well, you see, that for me as well, that's also really because the first movie, it's kind of like Jaws. It's scary in what you don't see. So yeah, that's up there for me.
For me, well, the T-Rex from Jurassic Park. I mean, I remember seeing that in the cinema and just like
Running out.
I'll give you something. To me, that whole low base with the ripples of the water. You're like, whoa, what's behind that tree?
I'll tell you another reason, because you get this amazing emotion when you see not the carnivores, sorry, what are they called? The salad eaters.
The herbivores.
Herbivores. Yes. Excuse me, I should know that. And you get the beautiful John Williams music.
Yeah.
And this, it's still to this day, that scene is just
I
almost...
get prickles.
Yeah, prickles.
Yeah.
I get it too, right?
Yeah.
So you go from that, and then the story arc changes a bit, and then this happens. So for me, it's the
The last one is the Terminator, which I said it's...
I never found that scary.
No, not me.
I mean, it's kind of...
But it falls in the whole genre of...
Yeah, but I think he's more worrying that he's like indestructible.
Yeah.
If you came across him, you go, what do we do? At least with the T-Rex, you could hide down a hole or something. But that is kind of... I think he's the most worrying. Not the most scary.
So you're going to go with... What you go with? The shark?
I'm torn at the moment between the shark and the alien.
What about you, Liam?
It's the shark in Jurassic Park and then the T-Rex.
Which one? You've got to pick one.
Got to pick one.
I'll stick to the T-Rex.
Okay.
If I've got to pick one, it's got to be the shark because
You've lost then. Unfortunately, the shark is not going to be going on my wall. How cool is that? I don't know how I'm putting it yet. I've already got an orca poster there, so I might actually put it with that. But there we go. We're going to be doing more of this sort of thing on the channel, but I don't know what... I knew what we were going to be showing the guests today. In future episodes, according to the crew, I don't know what I'm going to be seeing, so this is going to be very interesting. But thank you for that dilemma. You've solved it. I am going to be having a well-decorated studio. So we come to the feature of the show now, where we're going to be talking about the news, and we're going to look at some community feedback as well that we can probably answer. But what's been going on and what is going on?
Well, I've got... I'm going to Jamaica.
Oh, wow.
That sounds good, doesn't it?
So, yeah, not travelling again, are you?
No. But there's a reason I'm going there. So we've been asked to kind of put one of our DB5 Goldfinger models on permanent display at GoldenEye. And GoldenEye is the villa that Ian Fleming owned and wrote all the James Bond books at. I also found out why it's called GoldenEye. Did you know?
No.
So Ian Fleming, he during the war, the Second War, he worked for the British services, I think some kind of secret service. And one of his roles was to set up a spy network in Spain in, I think, 1940, somewhere like that. So that if the Nazis invaded Spain, there'd be a network of reconnaissance and spy network already in place. And that was called Operation GoldenEye. So he worked on something called Operation GoldenEye, and he kept the name and he took it with him.
That's amazing.
So I'm off there. We'll be there's what's called a gather-all.
Okay.
Where a lot of Bond fans are going to go as well. So we'll get
Are you
to
going
meet
to dress
up.
up? Is it tux?
Maybe.
Oh, wow.
We'll see. So that's where I'm off to. But I know you're off to somewhere.
I'm
off
to somewhere very special. I am going to be going to Massachusetts. I think I said that right. To Martha's Vineyard, where they filmed Jaws. I'm going to be seeing Amity Island, which is in Martha's Vineyard. A place called Edgartown. That's where the town was actually filmed as well. But there's plenty of places around the island which has got, obviously, the locations from Jaws in it. As a matter of fact, I'm doing research on Martha's Vineyard. I believe it's 1.5 times smaller than the Isle of Wight. So it is actually a small island. But obviously, I've never been there, and I'm very excited being a Jaws fan. I'm going to meet a lot of the guests from Jaws 2 as well. I'm also going to be meeting a guy who actually was part of the crew that was repairing the Orca, the boat, as things went wrong. But I'm so excited for that. It's going to be absolutely brilliant. Liam, are you going anywhere?
Yes.
Oh.
Just, it's all to be revealed.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes.
Which old way?
I think so.
So what you're telling me is 30 models isn't enough?
No, it's only enough until 2026. We've got next year and the year after and the year after that to look after. And yeah, so
Well, I'm glad I got you here because we've also got some questions from the community, especially related to a model that's going to be coming out soon.
Okay,
so,
great.
First question we got is, I absolutely love this model, the Ford Explorer, but please fix the brush guard on the front.
Yes, so we that's the second prototype, is the one we've kind of put out recently, and we've learned over the years. I mean, you asked earlier, what do we discover over the years? And one is that if we put out the prototypes when we have them, and we kind of make them public domain, we'll get a lot of really good feedback of, oh, that bit's not quite right, change that. I think that's, which is really helpful because the ultra fans know a lot more than we ever will.
Yeah.
And then we can make those changes before we go into production. And that's one that has come up. The brush guard was made just by looking at the movie and trying to replicate it, but we've now got the plans. It's actually, the brush guard is made by a company called Go Rhino.
Which I couldn't believe that you found that out.
Yeah,
And
well, if you look really closely, you can see the little yellow Go Rhino.
What I mean is that you've gone into that detail, figure out who made it, then researched them, and then got in touch with them.
Plans for that brush guard. So that will go. That's been feeding back to the designers, and that will be in the actual model. So yeah, we'll make that change.
Okay. I was showing you some stuff as well about the dome, how in some scenes it's bigger, some scenes it's smaller, and I'm starting to think the whole roof actually moved on it because, I mean, watch the film, it's crazy. But we do have another question regarding the Jurassic Park vehicles, and this Ford Explorer looks amazing, but they'd love to see a Jurassic Park Jeep model as well.
Well, you can do this one.
well, they will see it. They will see it.
So was this a 2-for-1 sort of offer, was it? Did you already plan that you wanted to have the Jeep Wrangler out as well, or you had?
Yes,
Right.
we wanted both. And actually, it was a bit of a debate which
We couldn't decide which to go first.
which
did we?
comes first.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess we just went with this one. I mean,
Could have been either.
it could have been either. It absolutely could have been either.
They're both great vehicles. And I did like the idea of the Ford Explorer having the decals to have 4 or 5, because I want 2 now. Actually, might as well have the 3 as well.
No, so we're already working on it in quite some detail.
Yeah. So we'll put that out straight after the Explorer, I guess.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, well, thank you for joining me in our brand new studio. And it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you. And thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Wayne.
And sadly, that's the end of today's episode, but we have got some exciting things coming to the Agora Models Plus brand. First thing is one of our people went to the Corvette Museum in Kentucky. Check this out. That looks amazing. I haven't seen that myself yet. And the second thing, on the one-to-one show, on the next one-to-one show, we're going to be interviewing, this was a brilliant interview, Andrew Probart. Now, if you don't know who that is, he's the creator of Airwolf, Street Hawk, Star Trek Enterprise D-Bridge. It was an amazing interview, so be sure to check in on the next episode when that comes live. Now, if you do want to get in touch with us, please leave a comment if you've got any questions or anything like that after this video, and we'll hopefully be able to respond back to that in future episodes. But until then, take care.